felt inspired to come outside today. I moved not long ago to an extremely wild place. There's tons of wildlife around all the time. We have a ton of plants. We're starting to grow food. Our compost pile is decomposing according to the laws of nature. There's like raccoons and stuff that break into the yard to come pick stuff out of there, but it's like, I have so much compost for you. Stop digging up my sweet potatoes that sprouted in the pantry. Trying to grow those hoes. So anyway, I was feeling inspired. I watched a really good reading and they told me to stop being a perfectionist and just like make more content. Glove. Oh, talk about, it was 111 on there. Oh my gosh, so many synchronicities, but that energy of the glove is that perfectionism, right? That like the white glove that you drag across the cleaned surfaces to see if it's clean or not. And also like in femininity, the expectation to wear the white gloves or to have the gloved hand or presenting the gloved hand, whatever. So there's that perfectionism pressure, the pressure of femininity. Let's see what else comes out. Oof, it's too many. There's Anais Nin. The subconscious. Ooh, the subconscious is both the place where we've been programmed to perform gender, class, religious beliefs, you know, all that stuff. That's where both that lives in the subconscious, our programming, as well as our inherent programming from before that time. Like the parts of us that are the most us, the untainted parts of us, the super deeply embedded because they've always been their parts. So the stuff that other people program in us and the stuff that, hey Hazel, what's up? Am I distracting you?
There's like a cobweb under my desk and
There's a cobweb under your desk?
yeah, but well, do you remember that spider that has spider web instead of kitchen?
Yeah.
I feel like the spider web's moving to that cobweb.
Why do you think that?
Because, well, some spiders actually move into other spiders' homes.
They do? I thought they always spun their own webs. Sometimes they move into other people's homes. They're renters. Is it okay if you're on my channel? Okay. You need to go back to school, please. I'm not distracting you out here though, am I? I love you. You need some help. Why don't you get the broom and dust out the cobweb and then it'll be all gone. We like to problem solve around here. Okay, so the part that makes us put on the white glove lives in exactly the same part of us as the part that doesn't want anyone to see, as the part that we don't even see, the subconscious. Not the conscious, but the subconscious. So that's so weird because I was just watching a video about moon signs and moon sign magic from Bahati Life, and that kind of resonates as well because it's those, when we make friends with that subconscious, deep within, shadowy figure inside, we can use that to our advantage. We can manipulate what may be perceived as negative into something abundant and of the highest good. Interesting. I just watched that video. Shout out to Jessica Alexander from Bahati Life. She's taught me a lot. Mary Shelley loss peacock. When I see the glove, and then the subconscious, and then loss, and then peacock, these are both show-off energies, but one of them is showing off from our internal place, and one of them is showing off from like societally programmed place. And then Anais Nin is digging into the subconscious right after this, and then there's this loss. And oftentimes, people feel a sense of loss when they're going through their awakening because they're losing faith in what they once understood was the truth, and understanding that truth is a little bit more relative and based on individual perceptions than that. And so once we grieve that loss, when we find ourselves in our subconscious doing the work to remove ourselves from programming and like identify the things that actually come from within us, there's a sense of loss that goes along with that. And as we're recovering from that, sometimes we even go extreme to the peacock mode, right? Like we go way to the other end of the spectrum. Like, what do they call it for the Amish when they take a break? Rumspringa? Like going where you can like basically like, I don't know if I actually know the ins and outs of Rumspringa, but my basic like TV knowledge of Rumspringa is that you can leave the Amish country for a time and do whatever you want and find out if you really have the heart to be Amish or if you have to be extricated forever. Is extricated the right word? Exiled? When you leave and you never go back because you want to be an outsider instead of the Amish. So it's that period of peacocking, 7-11 on the clock, if that means anything. I keep seeing the mushrooms card. Chicken. Skull. It's like the peacock, and then after the loss, and then the peacocking, then there's like the true death of the misconception, which is like more of like, it's not like finally understanding everything, but rather it's understanding that there's always going to be things that aren't understood. Like we're always searching for ultimate truth. It's like the death of thinking that one right way, and understanding that there's many different ways for all different types of people for all different points in their life. So there's just like this natural progression from like the way that we're societally programmed, going inside of ourselves with the subconscious, feeling lost when we understand that what we were always told was correct might not be the right thing, going all the way out there into that peacock mode and being like the most, doing the most, and then finally the death of that cycle and the birth of a new life, an eruption. Let's see if anything else comes out of here. This is cool. I like this outside energy. Ooh. Ooh, okay, so once the death of that cycle is over, the bottom of the deck is the Justice card. Libra season coming up. I'm a Libra sun, Taurus moon, and Sagittarius rising. My Libra is also in Venus. Okay, these are the last three cards I'm going to take from this deck. We've got Pond, Janet Frame, Belonging. Now this is really interesting. This person was misdiagnosed as schizophrenic and in the mental institution for a lot of their life before they were finally let out. And so like think about how that, like what kind of trauma influence that would be. And then the Wildflowers card. So after this death happens, after this lifelong period of being misunderstood or misunderstanding things is over, the solitude of that time afterward, sitting at the edge of this pond, taking in the wildflowers, I feel like a lot of peace, a lot of completion energy, a lot of like resting in it. I'm gonna leave these out to look at while I draw some more I'm gonna go to the Love Oracle. Actually, I'll save Love for the end. Other readers do that, I'm not sure why, so I'm gonna do it too, because maybe that's, 1001 on the clock. So I'm gonna go to the Spiritual Awakening Oracle deck. I think that's what it's called. Love these cards. And see what other clarity we can get. This reading is making me think of a friend of mine who's a Taurus, and a reading that I gave that person not long ago about their own journey. So this may be a Taurus heavy reading. I think they have Taurus in 2 of their major points, actually, if I remember correctly. And I'm a Taurus moon, so if you're a Taurus, this might be a Taurus reading. Action. Mantra. Okay, so this last bit was a big push. This like huge 11:44 on the clock. Oh, this huge period of transformation, which included going all the way away from what you previously knew into this new, more peaceful, self-oriented time period. Now that you have that huge push, there's this alternating sense of both action and rest. So in this action card, I feel this sense of like, okay, taking what you know and moving forward. That's what this arrow is, right? Like the mental fortitude to move forward and this chariot energy. But then this very still mantra energy is like beckoning the person in action to remember to take breaks, be still, listen, meditate, chant, you know, whatever you got to do to be in touch with the source that has helped deliver you through this part of the journey. So let's see what else they have to say about it. The squirrels are so chatty today. Rescue. Let's clarify. Who's rescuing who? Unplug. Ooh, rescue yourself. That's what I'm getting. That's part of the action. Doing the rest, doing the mantra, unplugging. That is the action, which is the rescue. Like, it's been a long haul to here. This is a tiring existence. And so all the work that's been done to arrive at this point, it's like saying, like, give yourself a helping hand. Take action only when necessary. Otherwise, take time to reflect, rest, unplug, say mantras. Yeah, this life is a labyrinth. You can't make it all through in one go, right? It requires taking a break, resting, really getting that rest energy heavily. The subconscious loss belonging. Oh, because the 1441 on the clock, the sense of belonging that we seek is a sense of belonging for our true authentic selves. So we have to release ourselves from the compulsion to belong to groups that don't actually serve us or that we don't identify as part of, or that stifle our originality, our sincerity, our authenticity, all those things. So we're constantly going through what feels like a maze in search of this rebirth, right? We only exit if we go slow, take rests, eat, keep warm, right? Interesting. Ooh, and you know, there's a bat in this, and bats can't see, they listen, right? They have sonar, isn't that correct? And so they hear a frequency. So singing bowls and mantras might be a really good thing to get in touch with, but also just understanding that we have to listen for answers. We're not always gonna see it. Sometimes we have to listen for it. I don't know what that means or who that's for, but it's pretty cool to say as I'm listening to these animals all chitter around me. My name is Ruthie. I'm genderqueer, transgender. My pronouns are they, them, and theirs. I have identified this way out loud for about 5 years, but I've always known I was transgender. I'm very happy to be. I know that the fluidity within myself is exactly by design, because this is how God knows me and how God made me, and so I'm grateful to be an intentional creation. I trust that these transformations I constantly go in and that we all go through will deliver us into our authenticity. And I believe that God made me and made you. Now you can call God whatever you want. Universe, happy accident, spirit. It doesn't matter to me. What you believe makes no difference about what I know. You ever thought about that? What other people believe makes no difference in what you know. When you know, you know. People always say that about love, but it's true about everything. When you know, you know. And we always regret ignoring what we know. Always. We always regret ignoring what we know. Now, doing mental work to unpack what we think we know to make sure that we know it, that's valid, that's good, that's healthy. But then to distinctly ignore what we know, we have to cleanse that. We need to stick to our truth and not distinctly ignore what we know to be true. What do you know is true that you've been ignoring? Or what have you turned away from ignoring that you need to hear validation right now that you're doing the right thing? Trust that. This transformation is real, it's happening. There's wisdom in that. Change. Look at this transformation. And this figure, I love this card because this figure is staring right into the face of this molting snake. Okay? And unafraid, totally neutral, totally calm, totally accepting. The snake's wrapped around their neck. They're not freaked. They know it's gonna be fine. Even when it feels like a snake is wrapped around their neck, they know they're not in danger, that it's gonna be fine. Like, see if Spirit has any other messages. We're almost at 20 minutes. That's kind of when I think I'll stop. Yeah, last minute. Ooh, the love messages. Let's go. So, ooh, desire at the bottom of the deck. Okay, you can't make that up. Perfect transition. Right underneath that is the family card. And right under that is authenticity, forgiveness, connections. Connections, forgiveness, that bird being let free, authenticity. Look at all those butterflies. We saw the trust card. I love this shirt. It says, I support women and cis women. Desire and family. I love this family card because it has what appears to be lesbians pregnant. And I love that. Queerness is all of what I'm about, obviously. You can't be a genderqueer omnisexual and not love to see queer stuff everywhere. Okay, let's see what these love oracles have to say. So, Don't choose love until you choose you. Don't choose love until you're living your authentic life. Don't choose love until you're ready to give and receive in equal measure. Okay? We want to take responsibility before we've even taken responsibility for ourselves. And that can be very tricky down the line when we realize who we are, and we have to find ways to navigate that being different than what our partner expected. So my personal caution to all is to just get to know yourself as much as possible. Figure out what your non-negotiables are.
9:25, I go back.
Okay, sweetie.
Do you want me to be right there?
Do you want to be in my video? I was wrapping up soon, but I'm about to pull the love
They say
messages.
that there's a special guest coming right now.
Okay, everybody, listen up. We have a special guest coming. Her name is Hazel. We're not gonna say our last name because it's public TV, right? So I'd love to introduce you to Hazel.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the show. Would you like to find or pick a love message for everybody while I clean up the rest of these cards?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. You can say whatever you want on the video as long as it's not your full name. Is that the right one?
Mm-hmm.
Did the spirit tell you so?
Mm-hmm. This one's
Ooh.
very easy.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. This one's my favorite.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us anything about what you noticed about that card?
I noticed that there's like a head that's been cut off of somebody.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you notice?
There's like a woman with an eyeball on their coat,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a very weird necklace with different designs,
Interesting.
and she has so many stuff. Even there's a shrimp on the phone.
I think it's a lobster. Do you want to go closer to the camera so you can show the picture?
Sure.
The camera's on that side. Whoa. Gala Dali. I think it's a nod or a family member of Salvador Dali, which I think it's hit Salvador Dali's head on the table. I also see the clock, the dripping clock on one of the candelabras. There's all sorts of wild stuff because this is supposed to be from surrealist art. Ooh, okay. So.
Ooh, I have a very good one that I want
Okay,
to
but
show
can you move out of the shot so that I can read the card to the lovely audience?
Sure.
Everything in love is invention. Create, soar over the ordinary.
I leave now, Dad. I mean, Mom.
Okay,
Because I'm ready.
love you, bye.
I'm gonna go and play with my colorful critter set.
Enjoy your calico critter set. Clean up when you're done, please. It is by being in the shadow that one emits the most light. We were just talking about that shadow, like getting comfortable there, co-creating with it so that you can get the outcomes that you want. Be immortal rather than available. The magic card's now on the bottom. Followed by simplicity. It's a gift. It will breed compassion within us. Okay? It's time for us to shapeshift. Find our sovereignty. Okay? Our desire has to be getting in such good touch with ourselves that all we would ever want is only the right thing. We never feel so desperate for something that we'd be willing to settle for not the right thing 24/24 on the clock. But rather, instead, we would cut the head off of that. We would strip off the white glove, okay? And (24:42) on the clock. Okay, look. I think the messages are clear. We have to make this evolution from what we were taught is correct to what we know is correct. And once we are in alignment with our knowing, with our authenticity, with our inner truth, once we have given spirit the attention spirit deserves, once we have ascended to the point where spirit can trust us to take some of that energy back for ourselves, our healing will be such that we'll have the right relationships. We won't settle for the wrong ones, and we'll enjoy the right ones. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. It would mean so much to me if you would like, share, and subscribe. You can find me Mixtic Readings on Facebook. I'm Mixtic, I think, _ readings on Instagram. I'm gonna try to start putting that information in the description box as well as my wish list. I am so grateful for 52 subscribers to date. I've only had this channel for like 6 or 8 weeks, so I'm really grateful for that love. If you liked this video or if it resonated with you, I would love to see your comments, and I will get back to you in the comment box or the comments below. And if you have any suggestions or requests for other video topics that you'd like me to draw on, I would love to draw on specific questions and topics by request. I love you all. Be blessed.